just I remember that I was talking with someone a couple months ago. Someone was also on the path of Sufism. Like about to know the reality. What is the reality? To reach the truth of Allah. I asked her, like, are you willing to give away everything you know, everything that you learn, to know the truth? So, in the end, I don't know how much I will stay at this mountain, or maybe in the city, or wherever I will be. But I know I'm here for giving up everything that I know, to change everything I know. I've changed a lot. What I know before is just tales and hoax right now. And I want it for everything that I know, that I've learned throughout my life. I want to forget everything and to learn what is life from the core. That's why I came to this mountain. In the end.
Uğur canım. Aziza. Azizem. Kanyondayım. Hatay'da kanyondayım.
I remember that I traveled a lot of cities. I went to I changed a lot of places, lived in a lot of cities, and each time every time when I meet with someone, sometimes you meet some persons that are like from the first moment, they have some place in your life, some people that you can open to. When I find someone that I can open in that city, I was always ask them at the first moment when we met, let's go to the mountains. I always say that I want to go live in mountains, but I can't do it myself, because I'm a type of guy that finds an idea but needs someone to push me into it, So yeah, I asked them. I always ask people let's go mountains. Do you want to come to mountains with me? I will live in mountains. And yesterday I talked with a friend. She asked so where are you? What are you doing? I told her, I'm doing what I said. I'm in the mountains. Where are you? Yeah, I'm waiting for all of you. I'm in the mountains. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what I'm trying to do. I want to found my own village, a city, a city that is livable in the mountains.
Back a city.
That's the story. That maybe right now I'm thinking, actually, what I told about going to mountains but not going there alone. It's the summary of everything. I don't want to be in this shit pile, but I want to be with people. But maybe, it's not too much different from being in the city. If I can turn a mountain into a city, I can turn a shithole into a city too. Maybe. Let's see.
And you, Ava, how did you came here?
Uh, Actually, until the last moment, I didn't know that I'm going to be living in the mountains. I knew that we are going to buy a land and it's going to be in somewhere in the nature, but I didn't know that it's going to be in the mountains. It's been 8 years I'm in Turkey, and I mostly I lived in Istanbul because I had to find some cash job, and Istanbul is a perfect place for this, to find roommates and big city life. I was fed up with that situation. I tried to rent place for myself in small city where I'm registered, where I have to live in there, but they don't rent out flats to an alone woman from Iran. Yeah, so living in Istanbul was easier because I could find a lot of open-minded people who share their flat. But I always had also a dream, at the end of, I don't know which end, but I'm going to be living in nature, to have a house in a village, have lovely people around me. I want to not have a dog. I want a dog to be my friend. And yeah, I lived in so many cities in Turkey. I traveled around, and I find Hatay, Samandağ is the most magical place I've ever been in Turkey. The energies. I 8 years ago, it was more than 8 years ago that I wanted to get out of Iran. I quit Islam. I was very rebellious about everything in Iran. I was seeking for my rights, for women rights, and I didn't get any support in Iran, and that made me to escape Iran instead of staying and fighting, because it was a matter of my life. Yeah. My plan was not to stay in Turkey, maybe a few days and then go to London, but it didn't happen, and I feel happy that somehow we call it Eranlar, let me to stay in Turkey and find out this magical place and wonderful people. I met lots of lovely people in the Sufi path. Yeah, I feel lucky. If I would have a choice, I would choose to live in Turkey. But I have to leave soon. I've been waiting for an answer from UNHCR to be relocated to another country. I don't know which country. It's going to be a surprise. I've been waiting for 8 years, and I even have no idea where will I be in probably 2 months, and that's how my life is going on in these past years in Turkey. Yeah, it's going to be a surprise. Where will I be? I don't know. Maybe Canada, maybe Australia, maybe Belgium. I don't know. Maybe they deport me back to Iran. I don't know. I just have to wait. I don't have any other options. And inshallah it will be fine. I believe that there is a reason behind everything, like a good reason, that sometimes we want to push the things to happen, but there is some reason that I'm here at the moment. And I'm flowing in the life. I trust Pachamama. She always take care of me. Maybe I'm far from my mom, but I came to realize that I have this mama. With Sufi friends, I made peace with Islam also. I like all the memories from my childhood about Islam has been erased, and new kind of, which I accepted from my heart. Mm. And Allah is taking care of me. So I'm waiting for more magics to come out, show themselves to me. I'm just grateful.
Actually, you know, the main problem with socialism is everything is good, everything is great, but they're always too much on the mind, always analyzing. Like everything should be explained. At this, I'm not sure if this was what Karl Marx had in mind. I used to also read Sufis. Yeah, and for them it was just a philosophy. It was great. Yeah, you can, even when you don't believe in God or destiny or anything, you can still get some things from them. And that was what I was getting from them. They are saying great, okay, good things, but they are all saying this for what we see the world that we live in, and there is nothing else beneath this world. Right now I understand that there is something not after you pass this world, but inside this world. There's another world, and it's not stuck inside your system. What you can feel or what you can live inside is what is happening outside. And back then I would say, okay, there is a world inside you, but that world has no impact on outside. Outside has impact on what you live inside. But now I can see it goes both ways. What you live inside can also change what you are living inside. The way I came here, my mother was.
Wait, let's stop.
Here. I had an experience. At 20 years old, I fell in love for the first time, and 2 years later, she died. And when she died, like at that moment, she was like divine for me. She was the God on earth, and she was the one that I should learn all the truth from. And I remember that I said, like, when she died, I said this sentence in Turkish, like, what would a slave do when the God is dead? I've been into a great depression. Like, it was the worst time of my life for me, like, emotionally, you know. Outside, economically and socially, things were not that bad, not at the worst part, but inside it was like there was a big distraction. I I didn't left what I know. I had to leave what I know, because at that point, whatever I know, it wasn't helping me anything that I've learned in my life. So I started to read Sufi poets, the great Sufis, and their books, to find a solution, a philosophical solution for that pain. And actually, I was trying a way to, like, I wasn't accepting that she was gone, and I was looking for a way to bring her back mentally. So I was trying to get crazy. You know, that was what I was doing. I was trying to change reality. I was trying to change how I see the reality, to spoil my real reality. And you know, in Sufism, Sufism actually uses love as, like, it's not Sufism. Life uses love as a fuel that goes to Allah. And in Sufism, they say there are two kinds of love. One is the false love, or the love that you live in earth. That false love is a teaser of the real love, the love of Allah. And through that love, a man can find the real love through that false love. So there is a story, a traditional story from Arabic lands that also been told a lot in Turkey. Leyla and Mejnun. So Leyla and Mejnun, they are two lovers who couldn't be together because of some issues, social issues, political issues, families, and in the end, Mejnun went crazy. Mejnun also means crazy in Arabic, and Mejnun Mejnun went crazy with the love of Leyla and starts to live in deserts, and everyone is like seeing him as a fool. So there is a part where Leyla meets with Mejnun in the desert. When they met, Leyla says great, like, soft, gentle words to Mejnun, and Mejnun replies, "From the words that you use, I can see that you know me, but love has blinded my eyes, so I can't realize who you are. Who are you? Tell me. If you know me, tell me who you are." She says, "I am the Leyla that you went crazy for the love of her." And Mejnun says, "No, you can't be Leyla, because I am the Leyla." He says, "Leyla is inside me. I found Leyla inside me. And now, if I accept that you are Leyla, then who am I? And if you are Leyla, like, if I am me, who are you? If you are Leyla, who am I?" So you and I, we are together, he says, and I can't seek Leyla at outside anymore, since I found it inside. After I found it inside, if I look for Layla at somewhere else, then I will be in a lie, because I know the truth, he says. So Sufis use this physical love to describe the love of Allah. That's how men should live the love of Allah. To realize, actually the love itself, to realize that love is a one person job. It has nothing to do with whoever you love. When you love someone, that person is just like a key that opens something inside you, that love inside you, but that love is inside you anyways, and the key is also inside you anyways. So outside, it has nothing to do with what's going on outside. The outside can't change inside. It's the same for all the emotions, the anger, the happiness, sadness, everything is inside you. So I was reading all these to get a bit mentally crazy, to see her everywhere. Her name was also Layla, one of her names. I wanted to get crazy to see her everywhere, to live like she is everywhere. And it was like that too, I could see her everywhere, in every moment. It was like but then at the road I met with Jem Baba and my brothers and sisters here. After I met with them. First, Jem Baba showed me, also with the Sufi, all these Sufi writings that I've been reading, that the Islam I left is not the Islam that I'm meeting right now. Right now I'm meeting with someone much different. That time, the Islam I left, I had to leave it, because it was the same Quran that told me that this is wrong, and right now it's the same Quran that is telling me this is right, because what I was believing in was wrong then, and now I feel it's right. So after that, a moment later I realized that I'm still feeling that love, but somehow I forgot Layla. One day I realized that I forgot her. She never comes to my mind. I don't think about her, but I still feel the same love, the same passion inside me when it came. So that's when I realized that they were saying true. Yes, it's inside me, and it's all the same with all other emotions. Like, I missed her so much. I really felt that longing. I remember that longing, and right now, like since then, every separation gave me the same longing for, the same. Like, I miss the same way. It has no difference. It doesn't matter who the person is. And now I realize, as the Sufi says, this world, what we see here, is just a reflection of our inner world, and we all seeking for something. We all have passions, desires, and these desires, they belong to Allah. Allah is the only one that we desire. But when a man is not aware of what he is desiring, he just thinks what he gets is what he desired for from the beginning. And same for the longing. I spent my life, like the last years of my life, traveling from city to city, like always on the road. I go somewhere, I say, okay, I want to live here, this is the place. Then a couple months later I felt this same, like I feel the same longing, like I miss something, like I want to go to home It's always the same feeling. I want to go to home, even when I'm at home. And now I realize what I miss is it's not somewhere or someone. We are passengers on this world. We came from somewhere, and we will go to same place in the end. And as long as we are on this world, we will always have this longing. And there are some times that Allah comes to you, you know. Those are the times that you act with full sincerity without thinking for yourself. When you think for the collective or to help, or I don't know. Those times that you don't ask anything for yourself. At those times, sometimes Allah comes to your heart. You can feel it, and at that moment, there's no longing anymore. And there's one more thing I want to add. Actually, there was a promise that I gave to Layla when she died. A promise that I gave to myself, actually, that one day I will make a film and everyone will know her name somehow. So if we are making a film right now, I want everyone to know her name. She wasn't the perfect person. She had a lot of uh, troubles, you know, a lot of things that she couldn't get past. But I know that sometimes she did it with love, sometimes she did it with hatred, but she taught me a lot. And I just remember that I said the day that she died, if all these people were known, like if all of them know that who died today, something would have changed. Mm. So, with love to Leyla Jahan.
So this is the Sufi way of life.
This is what a Sufi takes when he leaves. It's my baggage.
The Quran and the bottle of wine.
And henna, of course.
Of course.
For who knows what.
Well,
Selamünaleyküm.
wish you the best, my friend.